My sister excluded me from her wedding, saying I was useless, and that she only wanted people she loved to attend. Now that I've won the lottery, she's suddenly reappeared, insisting it's my duty to fund her dream luxury wedding. Hello Reddit eyes plus here. My sister Claire always had a way with words. She could cut you down with a smile and still make you feel like the villain. Growing up, we were close, but as we got older, our relationship fractured. Claire was always chasing perfection. Perfect job, perfect fiancé, perfect wedding. I was just me. When she announced her wedding last year, I thought I'd finally get to be a part of her dream world. Instead, I got a text. A text. It said, "Hey, just wanted to let you know the wedding is going to be really intimate. We're only inviting people who really matter to us. Hope you understand." I stared at my phone for a good 10 minutes before the words sank in. People who really matter. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe they were cutting costs. Maybe there wasn't enough space. But when photos from her bachelorette party filled my social media, an extravagant trip to Mexico with half our high school classmates, it was clear. I wasn't excluded for logistics. I was excluded because I was, in her eyes, useless. I didn't confront her. I mean, what would I say? Instead, I stayed quiet and let the bitterness fester. On her wedding day, I took myself to a movie marathon and drowned my sorrows in overpriced popcorn. As I sat in the dark theater, I promised myself something. Claire would never get the chance to make me feel like I didn't belong again. Fast forward 6 months. Life had been its usual blend of dull and stressful, until one night, everything changed. I had picked up a lottery ticket on a whim, just to distract myself from the monotony. When I checked the numbers, my jaw hit the floor. I won, not just a few $1,000s, not even $1 million. I won $150 million. The news spread quickly, as it does in small towns. Within days, distant cousins I hadn't spoken to in years were sliding into my DMs. Old classmates suddenly wanted to reconnect. But the pièce de résistance? A voicemail from Claire. "Hey, it's me. So crazy. But I just heard your amazing news. You're so lucky. I've been thinking, we really need to catch up. Also, guess what? Jared and I are planning a second wedding. You know, something more luxurious and reflective of our love story. I was hoping my amazing, generous sister could help make it unforgettable. Call me back." I couldn't decide whether to laugh or scream. The nerve of her. After cutting me out of her life when it was convenient, she suddenly remembered I existed. As a walking ATM. When Claire showed up at my house the next day, uninvited, she was all smiles. "You look amazing," she gushed, though I hadn't changed a thing since she last saw me. She walked through my door like she owned the place, spilling compliments and fake concern about how we drifted apart. I let her talk. She rambled about how her real wedding hadn't lived up to her dreams and how she'd always envisioned something grand. 5-star venue, custom designer dress, live orchestra. "You could make it happen," she said, her eyes gleaming with dollar signs. Finally, she stopped to take a breath. I leaned back, crossed my arms, and asked, "Why would I pay for a wedding I'm not even invited to?" Her face turned crimson. "Oh, come on, that was a misunderstanding. You know I love you." "Do I?" I said, raising an eyebrow. "Because last year you made it pretty clear I wasn't good enough to be part of your life." She stammered something about stress and small guest lists, but I wasn't buying it. "Claire," I said, my voice steady, "I'm not your piggy bank. If you want a luxurious wedding, you'll have to fund it yourself." Her eyes widened, as though she couldn't believe I'd say no. "But it's your duty as my sister," she snapped. "My duty," I repeated, laughing bitterly. "My duty is to take care of myself and maybe invest in people who actually care about me. That's not you." She stormed out, calling me selfish and ungrateful. I thought that was the end of it, but Claire doesn't back down easily. Over the next few weeks, she launched a full-scale guilt campaign. She told anyone who would listen that I was hoarding my wealth while she struggled. Our parents, who'd always favored her, took her side. "Family comes first," they said, conveniently forgetting how Claire had treated me. But for every tearful phone call and angry message, I stood my ground. I wasn't going to let her manipulate me. Months later, Claire's dream wedding still hadn't materialized. Meanwhile, I used my winnings to rebuild my life, starting with a cozy house, a trip around the world, and donations to causes that mattered to me. I even treated myself to a therapy session or two, where I finally unpacked the years of resentment I'd carried. As for Claire, she still hasn't forgiven me. But you know what? That's okay. Winning the lottery didn't just give me financial freedom. It gave me the clarity to see who truly valued me. And if that doesn't include my sister, well, I'll survive, because the real jackpot isn't money, it's peace.